Today I realized, and I'll just try to speak for myself, that a lot of the opportunities that we could leverage to get ahead in some area of our lives, we just pass on because we're too slow. When the iron is hot, we don't strike the iron, but we just procrastinate, we just defer to later. And when I was going through my notes today, so I wanted to create a piece of content, and I was just going through maybe like 50, 60 notes I've written down over the last few months with insights and learnings that I've had. And while going through the list, I realized that none of those ideas are speaking to me anymore. I went through them and I read them, and they don't click anymore, they don't resonate anymore. And that's really sad, because in the moment when I wrote those down, I really felt like this was a very interesting thing to go over, and I had some sort of experience, some sort of story, some sort of learning that I wanted to share. And instead of creating in that moment, instead of sitting down and overcoming the resistance and turning on the camera, I would just write them down for later. And now the ideas are basically gone because they just don't hit the spot anymore. And I think there are many examples in most of our lives where we don't capitalize on an opportunity because we are slow, because we see it and maybe we have some resistance, maybe we have some fear, maybe it doesn't work, maybe whatever, something bad happens, and so we just don't do anything. And I've had an experience last year where I was prospecting on LinkedIn. I just found someone where I really liked their work. I looked at their website and I was like, wow, this is really, really good stuff. And for whatever reason, in that moment, I didn't just save that page as an inspiration for later to see, okay, they're doing cool stuff. I reached out to one of those people and I ended up starting to work with them. And I've been working with them for a year. I've had the most amount of growth and progress in that year, in terms of business that I've ever had. And this has been so far the biggest opportunity of my life. And this wouldn't have happened if I had just said, okay, I will get to it later. And I think in that moment there was this opportunity, this iron was hot, and I just struck it, which I often wouldn't do. And now going through my notes that I've just mentioned really made me realize again, okay, this is a big problem in myself and assuming in many other people, where we see potential, we see an idea, we have something that we can do. Maybe we meet someone and we think, okay, maybe I could work with that person. Maybe we have a prospect that we're talking to, and for whatever reason, we just drop the ball. And then 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, it's just gone. The opportunity is gone. And I think this video is designed for myself as a reminder, and maybe for you listening, maybe it is something that hits home. I think a lot of progress can be had not by working harder, not by being more disciplined, not by really doing anything differently, but just when there's an opportunity, when you think that you should do something, not writing it onto your to-do list, not deferring it to later, not saving it for later, but just doing it. And I think this is very true, that opportunities come and they come frequently, but they also go away. And I think that we tend to believe that this is not the case. We see an opportunity and we think, wow, this is really cool. One day I will get to that, and then we never get to it. And then by the time we revisit the idea, it's gone. So I hope you take this to heart. Maybe it resonates with you, and I'll see you in the next one.